My name is Lillie Estes, Lillie A. Estes. ALO Community Strategy is my company, which was born out of a lot of focus groups and community meetings that I've been attending. I live in the oldest public housing community in the city of Richmond called Gilpin Court, and it was named after Charles Sidney Gilpin, who was a phenomenal actor and led the way for the vaudeville minstrel shows in Hollywood to stop happening. So we have an opportunity to build a garden in the community to honor who it was named after, to educate the young people and the not so young people about information that we haven't really been readily made aware of, and use it as an opportunity to grow from and to continue to grow from. It is an 18-month process where we show one film a quarter to an audience of people to discuss solution-oriented suggestions and recommendations. So the 6 themes are education, whole body well-being, public safety, housing, transportation, and job creation, wealth building. And we were like, okay, we want to do something different around film screenings. And we almost simultaneously came up with, we'll use the handle of community justice as a community engagement model to build community power. Well, from my perspective, the current problem with affordable housing is that it's not affordable. It's not affordable for a wide range of people. And basically it's math. You know, if you have an affordable housing price range that begins at $120,000, $140,000 for a modest house, and the average income of people, you know, is abject poverty, which is around under $12,000, $14,000 a year, and then the industry that you're bringing into the community doesn't create the disposable income to afford the $120,000, $140,000, and that's a math problem. You're either going to reduce the price of the house or you're going to increase the income so the people can afford it. And having all this trauma-informed conversation around how people need to adjust does not address the math problem. So we need to really deal with that. So when you're talking about people that live in abject poverty, and the chronic number of people that live in abject poverty are known to live in public housing, but the average income, you know, is $8,000 or less for public housing. But the piece that's rarely talked about is the 26% that caused the Anti-Poverty Commission to be created in Richmond in 2011, had the population of Richmond at 220,000 plus people, which 26% of that is about 57,000 and some change. And these are people who, by the city official numbers, live in abject poverty in the city of Richmond. And then you have a fixed number of units in public housing citywide, which is 4,100. Average household size is 2.5 people, so we are taking that number and multiplying it by the 4,100 units and coming up with 11,000 and some change of people. That's 40,000 plus people that live in abject poverty by city numbers that do not live in public housing, which puts it at 80% of that 26% number that we do not have a housing plan for. And the plan of deconcentration of poverty and deconcentration of public housing is not a solution for the people that live in public housing. So that is a total mismatch of the entire 26%. And we need to address that, in my opinion. The African burial ground is, of course, you know, the second slave trading area to New Orleans in terms of how slavery was conducted in the United States. And so that is a profoundly sacred ground and historical area for the city of Richmond, if not, the United States as a whole. There was a push to put a stadium, baseball stadium, on the African ancestors. But the sheer fact that we know conclusively that all kinds of atrocities was performed in and around that entire area makes it hands off on all of it for me. So our coalition of people stretched to a significant amount. And the National Trust for Historic Preservation out of DC conducted some of our facilitations with the hotel chains and food chains that the developer wanted to put in that area. When you talk about the sacredness, it's not only an education process for African American people to know, it is an education process for European American, Latino American, and any ethnic background. Community work is never done, so we're in the process now of going to the next level of community work, which is holding our existing organizations and governing structures accountable to effective community work, and just being the best, highest, well-lived individual person that we can be in our communities.